Hello Space Watchers, and welcome back to our weekly nugget, which is our space to analyze the most important news of the week. Today I'm not in my office, you might notice it, you saw probably from our LinkedIn post. I'm covering SINC, the Space for Island Nations Conference here in the Maldives, so this is not my office. Today, to me, is about coming to terms from witnessing two opposite conferences, because 2 weeks ago I was in Colorado Springs in the US for Space Symposium, which is probably the biggest space business conference in the world, based in the US, which is a spacefaring country by definition. And today I'm in SINC. I'm in the Maldives, organized by MSRO, which is the Maldives Space Research Organisation. And I believe the Maldives together might even be smaller than Colorado Springs, have a sort of footprint. So the question that I ask myself coming here is, what a nation like the Maldives want from space, what they're searching for, why they want to invest, because it feels a bit David versus Goliath in a sort of way. And how do they approach space compared to maybe classic spacefaring countries like the Western ones? And again, do we as Western countries have something to learn? Can we learn from each other? So what do they want? The Global South, this is my impression, wants to be heard. They want to be included. They want the attention of the world to be more balanced. And they want cooperation, of course, but they want it, rightly so, on equal terms. So they want their own data, their own satellite, and of course, being active actors in the space scenes. And they want support. They want support from international institutions to support the growth on the international scene. And they want somehow having economic support to be able to come to Europe, come to the US to learn from us. And of course, these are all necessities that they need to grow. Otherwise, they cannot make their voice heard. They want to sit at the table. What's against them? Of course, a limited human capacity. Those islands are small per definition. They will be isolated geographically. And of course, there are different economical speeds. So not all nations here, they can compete at the moment with the US. And nobody can actually at the moment compete against the US, but definitely not the Maldives. But on the other hand, what do they have? What they have to offer? First of all, youth. This is an incredible young countries. And in general, all the South Pacific countries are young. They are equatorial. They have a very interesting strategic logistical position. You know, it can be easier for launching, but also for ground tracking. They have uniqueness. They are just starting to offer something that might be interesting for us. And this is a very SpaceWatch.Global thing to say, they are, like all the Indo-Pacific regions, they have a geopolitical ambivalent position. Okay, let's not forget that in the Maldives, in Malay, there is a bridge called the China Friendship Bridge. And there is going to be another bridge, the Thailand-Malay Bridge, funded by India. So they're having an intense geopolitical work. And I think it's important to recognize, to highlight that here at SINC yesterday, I saw for the first time in a long time a Chinese representative sitting on the same stage together with a US person. And the representative from China was the director of scientific research department of the Changwon satellite technology. And I believe that was very interesting, very symbolic. At Space Symposium, we did not see any Chinese or Russian delegation, and this is significant. Here, yes. So let me go back to my first question. What's the point at a conference like SINC, and why the West should care? The Maldives don't have at the moment the legacy, of course, of the US or France, and you will not come here to learn something groundbreaking, I don't know, in debris regulation or lunar robotics, for example. But coming here means witnessing the birth of something radically new. And this is very important, because in 50 years, MSRO, Space for Island Nation, will be dramatically different. There are no doubts about that. But it is important to be here now, to understand what's going on, where everything was born. And because in this way we can understand where it's going and how we can keep collaborating with them. It's also the youngest conference I ever witnessed, I ever seen. They have succeeded in this small little island where Europe keeps failing. Here there are the young people, here there are the enthusiasts, here is the atmosphere is generally extremely energetic. So it is smaller than the Space Symposiums by any means, but the energy, in my opinion, is bigger sometimes. And ultimately, my final analysis is that there are moments in your life, in your professional life, when you go to learn something, and then there are moments when you go and you listen and you just witness the birth of something that might go far. And I think today here in SINC is the latter. And if you are a small startup, a young startup, if you come from the West, and if you're interested in the global, in the truly global space scene and in the global South, I think SINC is the right point to start. It's the right way, the right channel to start interfacing with them because they are dynamic. MSRO is creating an incredible, vivacious space and scientific context here. They announced many interesting new progresses. So the progresses from last year, they were there, and I hope they will keep coming. And I think this is an investment for us to understand how we can keep interacting with the Global South, how we should interact from the Global South, and it should start from them as here in SINC. And from this beautiful setup, I think that's it. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week.